Hello everyone, hope you guys are doing well and studying well as well. So in this session, we will be talking about the special intensive revision. Rather, in a sense, we are continuing the discussion on the special intensive revision. Previously, we had discussed in detail what this exercise is all about, why Election Commission is carrying out this exercise, and what are the technical details, etc. You can refer to the previous session's video. Okay, so why we are discussing this today? See, Election Commission of India has released the draft rolls of special intensive revision exercise, which first it is being carrying out in Bihar. That is, Bihar's draft rolls have been released by the Election Commission of India on the 1st of August. See, this topic is very useful, especially in GS2, even in ethics as well, and of course in public administration. Maybe not for this year's mains, but certainly for next year's mains and prelims, this questions may come revolving around this topic and Election Commission of India. So let's continue the discussion. As said earlier, that Election Commission has released the draft rules of the special intensive revision, which it has been carrying out first in Bihar, then it will be all over the country. So on 1st of August, it released those draft rules. So let's analyze all these draft rules, what Election Commission are saying, and what are the concerns about this draft rules, and how things are being streamlined so as to ensure our democracy remains functioning, and it remains what it has been, a very highly successful democracy of our country. Okay, so see, according to the Election Commission of India, see, as of now, as of on the 1st of August, when it released the draft rolls, 7.24 crore people have filled the forms and submitted to the Election Commission of India in the state of Bihar, of the persons who are eligible to vote, that is, they are citizen of India and they are 18 plus and they are ordinary resident. And Election Commission further has outlined that for the 2024 general election, the number of people enrolled in the draft rolls were around 7.89 crores. Okay, 7.24 and 7.89 crores. Now this is the figure which has come in the draft rolls. Okay, so you can see there is some deficit here. The elections happened in 2024. There was 7.89 crore electors in Bihar. Now they are 7.24. So deficit is of 65 lakhs. Okay, so 65 lakhs less people have filled the forms to enroll in the electoral rolls. Now, Election Commission of India has given the further division of this 65 lakh as seven lakh, 22 lakh and 36 lakh. It is saying that 7 lakh people have enrolled their names in at two places. 22 lakh people have died and 36 lakh people have migrated permanently out of Bihar or not found. Okay, this is the division of the 65 lakh deficit of voters which the Election Commission of India has given. 7 lakh have enrolled for 2 or more places. Suppose a person may have migrated to Delhi, there she has enrolled, and also in Bihar. So that 7 lakh has been deleted. Further it says 22 lakh people have died, diseased people need to be eliminated from the electoral rolls, and 36 lakh people have migrated permanently out of Bihar. That is, they have given up their one can say domicile from Bihar and taken to some other place, or it is interestingly saying they are not found also. Okay, so yes, very massive exercise has been conducted by the Election Commission of India, just over a month, and so much data they have got and they have uploaded. Congratulations to the Election Commission of India for conducting such massive exercise. The Election Commission of India has itself said that to reach so many voters, it had conducted a huge campaign. So campaign, it says campaign at all levels they have conducted, that is all levels of the hierarchy. This hierarchy we had discussed in detail in the previous video, you can refer that. So Chief Electoral Officer conducted a campaign at the state level, all the district election officers, that is who is the district magistrate or the district collector, she too conducted a campaign at the district level. Then there comes the ERO, Electoral Roll, Electoral Registration Officer, who is person SDM or Deputy Collector or of that rank at sub-district level. And also the most important functionary, the booth level officer. The booth level officer went to village, went to every lanes, went to houses, met people to people and encouraged them to fill the forms. The people filled the forms, gave it to the BLO uploaded on the website. So all this process happened and the draft was prepared for 7.24 crore people. Very massive exercise. This campaign was conducted at every level, that is the awareness campaign by the Election Commission. Next, it further says, to reach to the people, we had sent text SMSs as well to around 5 crore people that fill the form. We are doing special intensive revision, the text message to 5 crore people whose phone number were linked to the electoral rolls. Then it also says that we had given ads in newspapers at front page, very huge ads all over the country in Hindi, so that no voter is left behind and every voter finds its name in the electoral rolls, or rather the draft form everyone has filled and the name in the draft, no voter is left behind in the draft. So they say that around 240 plus newspapers ads were given in Hindi to reach to the people. Okay, so this is how they connected also to many people. And of course, in every section, every exercise to reaching to the people, there will be some people who may miss out or who are vulnerable to missing out, and the Election Commission has identified two sets of groups for that. Of course, the migrants who may miss out what is happening into their state. Like we know how the Bihar economy, it's colloquially also referred as a migrant economy. People from the state of Bihar migrate to all over the country to work in various states, be it Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, Haryana, Punjab, any state you go, any developed state, we can find the people from Bihar working there. Okay, so how to reach to the migrants? So to reach to the migrants, first thing is that they reached out them through the SMSs like we discussed, and SMSs encouraging them to fill the form online. Okay, online form. Second, awareness was generated through the newspaper like we discussed, and also the CEO, Chief Electoral Officer of the state of Bihar, wrote letters to the all the states and union territories, encouraging them that please find our migrants in your state and ask them to fill their form. Please help them in filling up that form. So you wrote to all the states and UTs to fill this form. An awareness campaign was also kept in various states and UTs as well, so that the migrants to fill the form. Now the vulnerable group, of course, like any state of India, are the urban people. Urban people are all over the country. If you check the profile of urban voters, that most of the lowest voting happen in the urban areas. So how to reach to them? Then the election commission created awareness campaigns through the urban local bodies. Urban local bodies, yes, 74th Amendment, democratic decentralization. Yes, this is also one way how urban local bodies can contribute to the sustaining of our democracy. For them to contribute, first they should be empowered to function. Urban local bodies in the true sense, local government in the true sense, as visualized by who? Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, so urban local bodies campaigns were created via urban local bodies to reach to the urban voters of Bihar, so that they too fill the form and no one is missed out. So after conducting this massive exercise, finally 7 point, like said earlier, 7.24 crore have filled the form. Okay, and also this is a draft, so that is, this is not the final list. Even if you don't find your name in the list, Election Commission has given you a period of 1 month. So from 1st of August to 1st of September, you can fill your ask. You can go to the BLO, go to the ERO, that my name is not there, my name is missing, please add my name. Or if there is some errors in your name, you can contact the BLO with the ERO to get it rectified. So 1 month time is also given, and here too awareness campaigns are created by the Election Commission of India, so that no voter is left behind. Now if your name is also deleted, then you have an appeal mechanism to, you can appeal to the ERO, Electoral Roll Registration Officer, for regarding the discrepancies in your name, or if your name is deleted, etc. This appeal is there, provision is there, and also further, even the Election Commission of India is helping people to file an appeal. How to file an appeal? They are mobilizing volunteers as well to help people, to train people to file an appeal with the concerned ERO or BLO if their name is not found in the list. Even the Election Commission of India has approached all the political parties to what? To identify people who did not find their names, to connect with the migrants across political parties, so that, as Election Commission always said, we want no voter is left behind in the democratic process. So this massive scale exercise has been done by the Election Commission of India. So much of use of human resource technology, management information system, database has been created. So that too in the span of 1 month, 7 crore people forms have been filled. So congratulations to Election Commission. Now this is all about the one side of the story, about massive addition, massive, one can say, reforms as well. But let's look at the other side of the story, whether this is massive addition, inclusion, or massive deletion. Okay, like the Supreme Court had said, massive inclusion, not massive deletion. Okay, let's look at the other side of the story. Now we will look at the other side of the story from broader 3 dimensions. Okay, first is the discretion of BLO and ER. Second is the 65 lakh deficit. And third, the EPR. EP. Third is the EP ratio. We will come to this, don't worry. It may sound technical, but it is very simple. Okay, we'll simplify. The electoral roll to the population ratio, the EP ratio. Okay. So let's look at the first concern about this exercise which happened in Bihar. The holistic concerns which we had discussed already. This is concerns we are discussing with respect to the draft rolls, draft rolls which are in the form of forms which have been submitted. Okay. So first is the discretion of the BLO and ER. Okay, so briefly how this exercise was conducted, how it was conducted. The BLO, booth level officer, went house to house, people to people, and got the form filled. People. Now the form was filled, was submitted back to the BLO, and BLO uploaded this form on the portal. Okay, form has been uploaded on the portal. Now, when the forms were uploaded on the portal, the BLO needs to sign, authenticate. At the same time, the BLO need to write, had a discretion to give a remark. 2 remarks the BLO ought to give. What were the 2 remarks? Recommended and not recommended. These 2 remarks the BLO ought to give while filling the form. Form were taken to the people filled the forms were uploaded by the BLO, and while uploading she needs to sign and give their remarks, recommended or not recommended. Okay. Now, if the remark is given as not recommended by the BLO gives the remark not recommended. On what basis it is given not recommended? So this is the discretion which the BLO enjoyed to give a remark of not recommended. Now when the remark is not recommended, his her boss is the ERO, Electoral Registration Officer. That person will scrutinize the entire application. Whether this person is eligible to vote, scrutiny will happen. Scrutiny in the form of whether she is a citizen of India, whether she is 18 plus, and whether she is ordinary resident. This is the scrutiny which the ERO will do for the person which has been given remark as not recommended. Okay, fine. If BLO abides by the civil services values of objectivity, integrity, unstinted accountability, devotion to duty, then okay, discretion is used in the right sense. But if BLO is far away from the civil services values, then this discretion will be prone to misuse. Misuse of discretion means misuse of power. Misuse of power means corruption. See, discretion gives power. and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So here is one loophole. They will scrutinize ERO. The scrutiny will be based on what? Those 11 documents they have to submit now, every one of them. Before the 11 documents, one of the 11 documents were to be submitted while filling the form. Then election commission said, now you fill the form, then afterwards you submit the documents. So once these 11 documents will be submitted, more suspicious scrutiny will be there, because BLO has said not recommended. Okay, now you say my name is recommended. Okay, you fall in the recommended category. That is, remark is given recommended by the BLO. Still, there is no assurance you will be there, your name will be there in the final list, because this is just a form which you have filled. Now you have to submit one of these 11 documents. Yes, we also have discussed how everyone has different categorization in the previous video based on the date of birth, etc., and parents' place of birth. Okay, so you too have to submit one of the 11 documents. Then there too will be some scrutiny whether these documents matches all these criteria. That is, you are a citizen of India, you are 18 plus, and you are an ordinary resident. So there too there is some discretion. Hopefully, discretion is used in connoissance with the civil services values. Okay, this is one loophole is there. Now, next is recommended. Okay. Now third thing, one is BLO remark, recommended, not recommended. Now, see, even if someone files a complaint against you, okay, complaint, draft electoral rolls are published, then one person thinks, yeah, I have a doubt that whether she is a citizen of India, whether she is 18 plus, then any person can file a complaint against that person. Suppose this can also be misused. Suppose there is a person who is a incumbent elected representative, and he knows that person never votes for me. So I'll file a complaint against him to check whether he is eligible to be a voter. So once complaint is filed, then ERO, that is Electoral Registration Officer, will conduct an investigation on basis of that complaint. Here again, importance of civil services value. If investigation is sparse, there is no civil services value. Okay, the ERO will investigate. Investigation will happen, and there is also provision that the conscience and conviction of the ERO will be sufficient to arrive at a decision of this complaint. Okay, conscience and conviction. See the discretionary powers. Conscience of conviction and conviction of the ERO will be sufficient to come at the conclusion of this complaint, whether the person is saying right, that is, that person against whom complaint has been raised is not a citizen of India, is not eligible to vote, or whether this complaint is totally false, based on the conscience and conviction. Yes, in ethics also we had discussed how conscience is subjective, it's not objective. So rational decision may not be possible. Hope you recall the ethics paper CSE 24 first question talks about rational decision. So there you can also connect. Conscience means subjectivity, not rational decision. First question 1A of ethics paper CSE 2024. It talks about rational decisions and artificial intelligence. Okay. So this, once complaint is filed, ERO, etc. Okay. So now next come into the second dimension of this other side of the story. So it said So it gave a figure of 65 lakh people. There is a deficit of 65 lakh. That 65 lakh less people have filled the forms as compared to the electoral rolls of 2003, based on which the general elections of 2024 happened, Lok Sabha. So 65 lakh. So the breakdown is also given by Election Commission. 7 lakh at two places. Then 22 lakh are dead. 36 lakh permanently shifted. Or not found. Now 7 lakh people have enrolled at two places. But if that person wanted to enroll, first priority will be that state, that is Bihar. Then was the consent taken? And if it's taken, should there be transparency to put out the consent as well? Or was it a case that they were not even reached? They found that okay, two places, automatically that person will prefer the second place. Or this way it happened. This aspects Election Commission needs to throw light on. Next it says 22 lakh people are dead. Okay, but on what basis this conclusion was arrived? Was with the discretion of BLO? Had we, how we had discussed how much discretion BLO has in the previous video, previous session, or was based on the proof of death certificate? Very few people in our country have birth and death certificate. Yes, every one of you may be highly educated, you will take birth and death certificate, but think about the poor and the vulnerable section of the society. Are they even aware of existence of birth and death certificate? Everyone is nowadays aware of Aadhaar, not birth and death certificates. There is also this loophole, and it is saying 36 lakh people have been permanently shifted out of the state of Bihar or not found. Here again loophole, not found. Where are these people then? Where are these missing voters? Not found. Yes, Election Commission has said we had appealed to the political parties to help us locate it, but ultimate responsibility is with the Election Commission of India. So here too there is this loophole of the missing 65 lakh people. Okay, the other dimension we had talked about regarding the whether this is an addition exercise or a deletion exercise was the EP ratio. EP ratio. Okay, see, this is a ratio of electors to the population. Okay, electors are those people who find their name in the electoral roll, who are already there in the electoral roll, and population, this denominator means population who are the citizen of the country and who are 18 plus and who are ordinary resident. So these are this denominator signifies people who are eligible to vote in India, and this numerator is talks about people who find their name in the electoral rolls for voting. So this ratio for India is 99%. Okay. Now, before we move further on this ratio, just keep in mind this ratio. Hope you are able to understand this. Okay. See, the census in our country happened in which year? Last census. Now the exercise has started, that is, it will start. The last census happened in 2011. Okay. So yes, long time, but and after census every year expert group is formed. expert group is formed by Ministry of Family and Welfare. That expert group's duty is that it keeps on projecting every year what the population of the country is, and every year what the population of all the state a particular state is, that is all state wise also data they disaggregate. So every year the work of this expert group is to project the population of the country and disaggregate the data state wise. So for 2011 till 2025, this expert group keeps on projecting the population of the country, okay, and it takes into account the birth rates and the death rates, okay. So that way they project the population of the country, and this is done by the Ministry of Family Welfare, and also this data is used by the Election Commission of India as well. So the Ministry of Family Welfare forms this expert group to project the population every year, how the population of India state wise has grown, and this data is also used by the Election Commission of India, okay. So understood what is this expert group is all about. So according to this expert group, the population of Bihar which are eligible to vote as of now is 8.18 crore. So Election Commission had put a figure of 7.24 crores, which people who have filled the form, previously it was 7.89 crores who find the name in the electoral rolls for the 2024 Lok Sabha election. So here 65 lakh deficit, and overall if we see there is a deficit of 95 lakh people, as much as population of some European countries. This much voters according to that projection are missing. So that projection is saying this is the adult population of Bihar who are eligible to vote, and 95 lakh people. If we consider this population, 95 lakh people are missing, and here it is 65 lakh. So 65 lakh data Election Commission has disaggregated. Some are dead, some are two voters, some permanently. But what about this projection then? Even this data is used by Election Commission of India in its expert group, okay. So keep in mind this 95 lakh. Now let's come to the EPR ratio. See, this is the EPR ratio, EP ratio, that is electorals to the population which are eligible to vote, and electorals which are actually find their name in the electoral roll. Suppose there are 100 people in India who are eligible to vote, and 99 people find their name in the electoral rolls. That is the EP ratio all over India is 99. Okay, this is 99 at present. So for Bihar, for the 2024 Lok Sabha, it was 97%. Now, after this exercise, and if we consider that deficit of 95 lakh according to the experts group projection of the population, and need not worry about the people who are dead, because that projection takes into consideration the death rate as well as the birth rate as well. So according to that projection, the EP ratio of Bihar comes to be 88%. That is, out of 100, only 88 people will find their name in the constituency. This is very crucial for a state of Bihar, because that state is considered to be people are very politically active and aware, and that too the ratio comes to 88. And this is very significant for democracy as well, because the last assembly election happened between the two coalitions. The total vote difference was around 0.005%. That is the total difference, absolute difference between the two coalitions was of 20 to 25,000 votes only. If so many people, if EP ratio comes down so much, then democracy will be questioned. functioning of the democracy. Hopefully, this is just a draft roll, not the final list as of now. So these are the issues which have come in the draft roll, and there is a provision also for appeal, which we discussed earlier, how Election Commission is also training people to file there too. But the officers, the DEO, ERO and BLO also enjoy a lot of discretion. So what to do now if that is misused? Don't worry, there is something called as one of the organs, the Supreme Court. Supreme Court of India, which is the what? The guardian of the Constitution. The guardian of the Constitution, the guarantor of the fundamental rights, and the final court of appeal. Already cases going on in the Supreme Court regarding the special intensive revision, and Supreme Court has also outlined that is made an observation or presented its view that special intensive revision should be an exercise of democracy of mass inclusion, not mass exclusion. It further says, if you bring 15 people to us who are dead, who are considered dead by the Election Commission of India, that is, they have been declared dead but they are alive, we will cancel this entire exercise. So it hopefully further Supreme Court said that it should be a mass inclusion, not mass exclusion. Every voter is counted. Person who wants to vote is taken into consideration. Okay. See, Election Commission of India, as outlined by Dr. Ambedkar, is considered that time. Dr. Ambedkar said is one of the bulwarks of democracy in India. An Election Commission has, in the true sense, at least till now, had remained a bulwark of democracy, and because of the well functioning of Election Commission of India, our democracy has flourished. It has reached the heights of how a democratic country should be because of free and fair election. See, many countries got independence during our time in the 40s. They most of them failed because elections were rigged, etc. Elections were not free and fair. Even Election Commission of India is considered role model for all the many countries around the world, not just developing countries but also developed countries. If you recall the US elections of 2000, which is the oldest democracy, see, those elections happened in 2000. So controversial they were. The state of California, where George H.W. Bush versus Al Gore, the election of 2000 was so controversial. For 6-7 days, the California counting of California state was going on. There were so much discrepancies. Who won? Some people that time said Al Gore had won. Some news channel that time. Some people said George H.W. Bush won. And it remained controversial even now. This all went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court gave a judgment favoring George H.W. Bush. His opponent Al Gore did not even accept that. He accepted the court judgment, but he was highly doubtful of whether that counting happened in proper sense. But this all aspects never happened in India. Be it no one who lost or won the election, the transition between the democracy was very smooth. Even the emergency period, after the emergency period, Indira Gandhi lost the election. She didn't discredit the election process. She stepped down. This is the smooth transition and smooth functioning of democracy our country has seen, and credit must go to Election Commission of India. Hopefully, Election Commission stands by what it has been stood for, and our democracy keeps on flourishing, and all the doubts which the opposition leaders and civil society have been raising how our address and our democracy remains flourishing. Okay. Okay, then hope this session was helpful for you. We'll see if we need to make another video on special intensive revision. Let's see, as the situation is at present evolving. If needed, we'll make another video. This is the second video. I hope this helps, and like always, happy learning.